Hi everybody, how are you all doing on this Thursday evening? Want to do some yoga tonight. Hopefully you're ready to move your body, maybe get in touch with our core a bit tonight. So I'll just wait a few moments so people can get on, who are going to be on. If you're on, send some little bubble hearts and things like that so I know that you can hear me and that this is on. All right, awesome. So yeah, it's Thursday, I have no idea. I'm not really keeping track. It just feels like a long time. I can't believe it's already almost, like it's May. Like, where did April go? Wow. Anyway, so I'm glad you're here with me today. Again, we're going to do some yoga for our core. I thought we would focus on some core strength tonight. Fire in the belly is what I was calling this session. And focus on our third chakra, our Manipura, or our solar plex chakra. Sometimes when that chakra is a little out of balance, we can feel like, there's no motivation. And what's going on in the world right now can often also cause us to feel like there's no motivation. I don't want to do anything. I know I've been guilty of that. There's like, oh, I could be doing this. I could be cleaning out my closet. I could be planting my garden. I could be doing all these things. And then there's times where I'm just like, yeah, I really just want to do nothing. So hopefully this Manipura chakra work session will get us all fired up in the belly, give us some more motivation to do some things. So hi everybody, I'm glad you're here with me, and we're going to get started. I'm going to come back to my mat. Maybe. So go ahead and just take a comfortable seat, close your eyes, come into your quiet place. Well, why not lying? There it is. So bring one hand, since we're focusing on our belly tonight, let's bring one hand to our belly and one hand to the center of your chest. Close your eyes and then just breathe into the palms of your hand. Fill up your belly, fill up your chest. Each inhale, really fill into the palms of your hands. And then with each exhale, let the breath completely leave. So continue to breathe. And again, since we're going to focus on the Manipura, our solar plex chakra, just be aware that this energy center is located right in the center of your abdomen. Again, if we're unbalanced, if we're feeling out of whack, if you will, with our chakras, and this one in particular, it can often affect our digestion. Maybe you have an upset stomach, or my husband has sometimes when he drinks too much coffee, it aggravates his stomach. But that idea of, it aggravates in your stomach. You feel some upset in your stomach. And that can also just mean it could be the complete opposite. You just don't have any energy to eat. You don't want to eat, or maybe you're eating too much. And again, a lot of that is also related to the stress that we're feeling in our lives right now. Emotionally, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, you might feel a sense of you just don't really want to do anything. You don't have the energy. You lack the motivation. Or on the other spectrum, maybe you're feeling a lot of anger. Maybe you're lashing out, guilty maybe a couple times. But just noticing what's going on mentally, physically, and emotionally with you during this time of pandemic that we're in. So now bring both hands to your belly. Sit nice and tall, and then just breathe into this energy center. This is a place where our power comes from, our personal power. So tonight we're going to work on cultivating that. And then releasing your hands, bring the soles of your feet together, and we'll start right in the middle of our body. Take a few spins around. Get into your hips, hit your belly. And then we'll switch directions, take it around the other way. And then coming into the center, take the soles of your feet, press them in towards each other. Reach your arms up, take a big stretch. And now release the right hand to the floor, lift and come over and stretch. So keep your left hip on the ground as you stretch over. And then inhale, lift, bring both arms up again, take a big stretch. And then left hand to the floor, right arm comes on over and stretch. And then both arms come up. This time an easy twist. So right arm behind your back. Left hand can come either to your foot or maybe over to your shin for deeper. Then turn and look back over your right shoulder. And then inhale back up to the center. And we'll twist to the other side. Left hand around behind your back, just on your fingertips. And then gently turn. And then inhale, both arms up to the center. Take your hands to your heart. Pause just for a moment. And then let's come over onto our hands and knees. So taking your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. Take a cat pose, lift your spine up. And then melt through the center, find your cow. Hold that there and then sway gently side to side. Find cat pose again, rounding your spine up. And then melt through, find your cow, and then one more time, stay here, stay with the arch, and then just sway gently side to side. And now walk your hands back towards your heels. Come down in a child's pose with your hands back. Let your shoulders rest on your knees. Breathe into your back. Just taking a moment, just pause before we move in our practice, just to center yourself. Find that inner quiet. Let go of all the distractions around you and just bring your mind to this moment and to pay attention to the sensations that come up in your body from your practice. And as best you can tonight, keep your focus right in your belly. And then inhale, rise up. We're going to rise all the way up onto our shins. Reach your arms up, stretch. Good. Interlace your fingers. Now pull your belly in strong. So you feel your belly coming back towards your spine. Now start to pull your chin gently down into your chest. And you're going to continue to roll and tuck in using your core. Slow descent. Fingers down to the ground, rounding your back. Once your fingers come to the floor, just hang there for a moment. Feel a stretch in your back. Keep your belly lifting up. Good, we're going to rise up. Slow and controlled. Inhale, rise up. breath. Take another inhale, grow tall, pull your ribs in, and then start to go slow again. Try to feel every single inch as you descend down to the ground. Keep curling your belly in. Fingers to the floor, round the back. Good, inhale, rise up again. Feeling your core starting to get warm, I hope. And then reach up. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, pull your belly in, roll down. Take your time, go slow. And holding there, keep pulling the belly in. Good, and then roll yourself up. Nice, release your hands down to the ground. Find your tabletop again. And then just gonna take some circles. So we're gonna roll around, taking the hips and shoulders back and around. Maybe over-exaggerate this movement. Make it big, rolling yourself around. Try to work out any places in your hips and your back that feel tight. Moving the energy. Let's go the other way. Good, and then finding your middle again, the center. Good, pull your belly up so you feel strong in center. Lift the right arm out to the side. Good, now I want you to plug the shoulder in to the shoulder joint. So reach your fingers way out and then pull the head of your upper arm bone into your shoulder. So you can notice you can kind of plug and unplug your arm here. So you're gonna plug your shoulder in, pull your belly up, and then rotate wherever you can comfortably go. So what I don't want you to do is to crank the shoulder up. Again, feel this in the middle of your body, working on our core. So if your arm's not all the way straight up, it's okay. Good, now lift your belly again, and then you're gonna slide that right arm underneath you. Lay your shoulder on the ground, lay your ear on the ground, and then crawl your left fingertips over the top of your head. I like to push my fingertips into the floor on the left hand and start to look underneath my left arm. So you get a little bit of a twist here. And then coming back in, find your tabletop again. Let's do the other side. Engage your core, left arm out, plug the shoulder into the shoulder joint, and then lift the arm. Again, it doesn't matter if you're all the way up here, if your shoulder's out of the shoulder joint. So keep it in, twist, and just, again, feel the work in the middle of your body, in your belly, in your core. Good, lift up the belly more, reach the arm underneath. Lay down onto the shoulder, onto your ear. Crawl your right fingertips over the top of your head. Push your fingers into the ground and then turn and look underneath your right arm. Nice, coming back in. Finding your tabletop again. We're gonna rise up onto our knees. I'm gonna stay this way just so you can see, but you can stay the direction that you are. So you're on your knees. You're gonna take your right leg out to the side for gate pose. Take your right arm into the inside. We're gonna lean into the right. So this hand is just helping you to open that knee back. Open for your inner thigh, rotating up and over your thigh. Good, opening through the hips. Then we're gonna push into the right foot. Inhale, lift. Now go ahead and extend the leg out a little further. Come on to the heel. Keep your knees soft, so don't lock it straight. Now lift the left arm up. You're gonna slide the right hand down wherever you can comfortably go. So again, check to make sure you don't have this knee locked, but it's a little bit of softness there. And you're just gonna take a bigger side stretch. And then inhale, lift up, back to the center. Release your hands down onto the ground. Switch to the other side. So you take the leg up, first the knees bent, and lift up. Bring our hand to the inside, and then we're just going to lean into it. Feeling some opening in our inner thigh. And just gently working. I use my back of my hand to just open this whole inside of my leg. So I'm just working it back slightly, but keeping the hips square to the front. Good, now push into the foot, lift up, straighten the leg. Come onto your heel, knees soft. Reach the right arm up, and you're just going to slide down sideways. Soften the knee. Really breathing through the whole right side of your body. And then inhale, lift back up. Bring your hands down to the ground, just helps a little with balance. I'm going to slide the leg back in. Turn your toes, find your first downward facing dog. Stretch up. Good, so take a quick look at your feet to make sure they're hip distance apart. If you can see the inside of your heels, rotate your feet just slightly out. You feel a sense of broadening in the back of your legs. And then same with your hands. Take a quick look at them, shoulder distance apart. Spread your fingers wide so you have pancake hands. Press your fingertips into the ground. Good, now lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Lift your ribs up towards your body. Push your hands in the ground and reach your hips up. So you should feel a very small curve in your spine right above your tailbone. So you feel that pelvic tilt. That's hard to maintain while you're lifting your ribs up. So just keep working at it. I know even I'm so guilty of it. Half the time I'm like, oh yeah, ribs up. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. You're going to hang in a forward fold for a moment. Go ahead and fold your arms at your elbows. And just use your arms like a weight. Hang over. Deep breath in and out. Good. Relax your hands to the floor. Engage your belly. Pull it up towards your spine. And then begin to roll yourself up. Inhaling. Come all the way up. Reach your hands up. We're going to interlace your fingers. Let's step our feet together. Big toes touch. Heels apart. Pull your ribs in. Lift tall. Now like you're tracing a very small circle on your ceiling. Move around. And gradually allow that circle to become wider. And then make your circle begin to come small again. And once you come in the center, reverse the direction. Go the other way. Let's start to incorporate our hips, making it nice and big, big circle and around. All the while keeping your belly engaged. That means pull towards your spine. Belly braced is another way to think of that. Good, make your circle small. And then come up to the center, stretch. Soft knees over to the right side, half moon stretch. Stretch. And then inhale, come back up through the center. Let's do the other side. Half moon and stretch over. And back to the middle. Reach tall, inhale, and your exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. All right, halfway lift. Reach the crown of your head forward. Take your hands to the ground. 2 steps back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Untuck your toes. Inhale for your first cobra. So easy, elbows in. And release. Push off the ground, downward facing dog. Roll through your body. Feel that stretch. Let's do that again. Come up on your toes, roll forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower to the floor. Legs squeeze together. Inhale, cobra. Elbows in, shoulders down. Release. Push off the ground, downward facing dog. Up and back. Good, rise up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Take a few steps and walk your feet to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Big breath carries you all the way up. Stretch tall. Hands to your heart. Pause. All right, inhale, reach up again. Exhale, fold all the way to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands on the ground, come back to your plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. Breathe. So remember, in the vinyasa, you can always come into child's pose if the vinyasa part's too much. So you're in downward dog. Take another deep breath there. Exhale all the breath out of your body. And then you have 3 options. Lots of little steps, 2 big long steps, or hop to the top of your mat. Choose any one of those. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, reach out, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. Good, inhale, squeeze your legs together, rise all the way up, bring your hands up, look up, stretch. Hands to your heart. Let's do a few more sun salutations. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down, fingers to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Step your feet back and lower down. You have options here, knees all the way down, or chaturanga if you like. Upward dog or cobra, those are another option for you. And lower. Push off the ground, downward facing dog. Inhale up on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Lots of little steps, 2 big steps, or hop your feet. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise with your breath. Come all the way up. Inhale. Hands to your heart. One more like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the ground. Come back to your plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, up on your toes. Bend your knees, hop, step, or walk your feet. Halfway lift. Fold. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Take your hands to your heart. Pause. All right, big toes together. We're going to bend into our chair pose. Good, hold it right here. So toes together. If that's too much in your knees, you're welcome to open up your feet so that they're maybe 2 fist distance apart. What you want to watch in this, though, is if you do open your feet, that you don't let your knees knock in. So you want in front of your kneecaps to shoot straight forward. So it can be here, or you can have your legs squeezed together. It's the same pose, just a different sensation. Do what feels right for you. All right, so we're in our chair pose. Pull your ribs, belly up and in. Still have a little curve here, though, in your low back. Good, now engage your belly strong so you can float your right leg off the floor. Then shoot the leg back, take a big step. Make any adjustment you need to so that you find yourself in this long lunge of a step. Left knee right over your left heel. Good, with an inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling, stretch tall, and find your crescent pose here. Hug your inner thighs towards each other, ribs in. If you like to arch, lift the arch up your back so it's not crunching in your low back. All right, let's move into a twist. So an option would be to take your left arm back and your right arm forward. If you want a bigger twist, you can take your hands to your heart, pull your ribs way back, hook your arm to the outside, and come deeper into your twist. And with an inhale, rise back up into your crescent. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Step forward, fold, top of your head comes down. Bend your knees, find your chair pose again. At any point chair pose is too much, you can always bring your hands to your heart. When we lift our arms up, it makes the pose a little more challenging. So modify for yourself tonight. In chair pose, hold it right here. Good, now same as we just did on the other side. We're gonna engage our core, lift up the left leg, shoot the leg back. Find crescent. Hips are level. Ribs in, and there's a pelvic tilt forward here. So the more I tilt my pelvis forward, the more I get the opening in my hip flexor. This left knee, you can bend it or straighten it depending on your hamstring. All right, reach your arms up, find your crescent. So again, if you want to arch, really hug the legs in tight, pull your ribs in, and then arch from between your shoulder blades as to your lower back. Good, so we're going to move into our twist. Option, stay up and twist, or come down and twist. Whichever option you chose, keep working your right hip back and your left hip forward. Keep your belly engaged. And then inhale, come on back up into your crescent. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back into downward facing dog this time. Stay here or move to a vinyasa by moving forward, lowering either chaturanga or the floor, upward dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Inhale on your toes, bend your knees, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to chair pose. Stay low, hold on to it right there. Keep engaging your core like you're knitting your ribs together in front. Draw your tailbone back.
Breathe.
Good, bring your hands to your heart. Lift up the right leg, take a big step back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist. So either stay up or come down. Inhale, rise back up into crescent. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step forward and fold. Bend your knees, come back to your chair pose. Hands to your heart. Float the left leg up, step back. Inhale, lift up for your crescent. Exhale, moving into a twist. Either stay up or drop lower into it. Inhale, come right back up into your crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step forward again. Bend your knees, chair pose. Hands to your heart, pause. All right, let's keep going, adding on. Inhale, right leg lifts, step back. Find your crescent. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twisting to your choice, either up or down. Inhale, come back to center. Now lean forward on your exhale. Stay here or float the back leg, float the back leg up. Take the toe down. Inhale, rise back up. Hands to the floor, step forward, forward fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Hands to your heart. Left leg steps back. Rise up into crescent. Move into your twist, your option, up or down. And then come back to the center. Take a bow. Stay here or float the back leg up, scale pose. Toes down. Inhale, lift. Hands to the ground. This time, right leg comes back. Exhale, lower through chaturanga or the floor. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Rise up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Hop, step, or walk your feet top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale. Knees bend. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step back. Inhale, lift up for crescent. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back up to crescent. Exhale, lean forward. Stay here, or on your next inhale, float the leg up. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right leg back. Plank pose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Rise to the top of your mat. So you're gonna, rise top to your feet. Bend your knees. Go to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale, lift. Hold it right there. Sink down into it. Work the legs. Breathe. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, step back. Inhale, reach up for crescent. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bow. Stay here, or inhale, leg floats up. Exhale, take the toe down. Inhale, up. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Keep exhaling as you take the left foot back. Lower through your vinyasa. Downward dog. Rise to the top of your toes. Bend your knees. Hop, step, float your feet. Bend your knees. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step back. Inhale, reach up for crescent. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale and bow. Stay here or rise one more time up, float. Toes down, reach it up. Hands to the floor, right leg back. Lower through your vinyasa or skip it, go right to downward dog. Let's all meet right here, downward dog. Ooh, nice big breath. Good. Walk, step, or hop your feet, top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Rise with your breath. Come all the way up to the top. Hands to your heart. Pause just for a moment. Quick check-in, how you're feeling. All right, let's do a few more twists. So you're going to leave your right foot at the top of your mat. Step your left foot back. Square your hips to the front. So your back heel is on the ground. Hips are squared. Straighten your front leg. Reach your arms up. Now really engage your core. You're going to come down just halfway. So what I mean by that is that I want you to drop down all the way. I want you to imagine the crown of your head and your tailbone are pretty close to a nice straight flat line here. Work your right hip back. Soft in your right knee. Good. Left hand to your right shin. Right arm, take it towards the floor, and then let it go ahead and continue up if it's okay for you to do so as you start to move into your twisted triangle pose. Too much in your shoulder? Hand can rest right here. Parvrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. Inhale a breath. Exhale, release. Step your left foot forward and then rise up, inhaling. Hands to your heart. Pause. Right foot steps back. Square your hips. Adjust your feet. Doesn't have to be a huge step apart. You want to be pretty solid in your feet. Inhale, arms up, ribs back. Keep extending out. Come halfway. Head in line with your hips. Left knee soft. Right hand to your left shin. Left hand, take it towards the floor and continue like clock arms, opening, and as you're lifting, you're turning your chest to the left. Another breath here, and then release, lift it up, and then let's step to the top of the mat. All right, we're gonna do that again. Add you one more level there. All right. So take your right foot, step back. Turn your hips towards the front. Pull your ribs in, reach up, and extend out. Take your right hand to your left shin. Left arm can rotate around. If you can go deeper in this pose, you can start to slide your right hand down to the outside of your left foot. Pull your left hip gently back to get some more twist. Now feel long in your spine. Good. Take your time as you unwind and come up out of this pose. Step to the top of your mat. Switch feet. Left foot back. We did that side twice, but who's counting? Me, right. Square your hips to the front. Ribs in. Inhale, lift. Halfway, extend down. Good. Right hip back, left hip forward, right knee soft. Left hand to your right shin, right arm. Start to circle it back and turn. If you feel like you can go deeper, take your hand to the outside. If you have a book nearby or a block, you can put your hand there. So when I bring my hand down, the first thing that happens is my right hip starts to move forward. So I want to counteract that and keep working this right hip back, in, and down. So I really feel like my tailbone is pointing straight back towards my back heel. Too much to open, you can always take your hand to your hip. Now, when I say long spine, I mean the crown of your head reaching out and your tailbone reaching out. So you feel that connection from head to tailbone. Feel like there's a ringing out in the middle of your body. Inhale and exhale. Hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Give everything a gentle shake out. And then shift forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower down onto your belly. Squeeze your legs together. Bring your hands along the side of your body. We're going to keep all 10 toes on the floor. Little pinky toe presses down, big toe presses down. Legs squeeze in. Inhale, rise up. So keep your snake tail on the ground. If it's available to you, interlace your fingers and then lift a little bit higher. Soften your elbows and not pulling on your neck, keeping a neutral back of your neck. Take a full inhale And exhale. Hands along the side of your ribs. Push back. Find your child's pose. Take a pause here. Round your spine. All right, let's focus on some core. You're probably like, wait, we're not doing any core yet. Let's do some. So we're gonna come into our plank pose. You can modify this by leaving one or both knees on the ground. All right, plank. So shoulders are a little bit in front of your wrist, belly up and in. Breathe. All right, we're gonna shift over onto the right side. Putting your right knee down, first time, maybe just to feel what we're gonna do here. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Release back down, come into plank. Switch to the other side, so knee down, and we're gonna lift up. So we're gonna take that a little bit quicker. You are welcome to stay in plank. We're not gonna rotate two different sides. We're gonna stay on the same side. So come on back down into your plank pose. Option, knee down, or leave the knee up. Roll to the right side. Lift the arm up. Come back into plank. So feel plank, nice long line, belly up. Come back to the right side, lift it up. Come back to plank. Come back to the right side. Come back to plank. Come back to the right side. Come back to plank and lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Whew. Squeeze the legs together. Inhale, find your cobra. Exhale, release. Push off the ground, find your downward facing dog. All right, you know where we're going. We're just doing 4. You can do it, and knee down, totally fine. Shift forward, plank pose. Roll to the left side, right arm up. Can't see you all with my hair. And then come back to plank. And then lift up. And then come back to plank. Rise on up, inhale. And come back to plank. One more time, rise up. And back to plank. Good, lower all the way down. Come into cobra. Exhale, release. All right, come up onto your tabletop. Walk your knees in. So we're gonna modify that slightly, work some more through the core. So come into plank pose. Modify this by knees down or elbows down, okay? So plank either on your hands or on your forearm. Breathe. Shift to the right side, lift the left arm up. Now, instead of bringing the left hand on the floor, come back and reach it underneath your body. Oh yeah, and then lift back up. We're just gonna do 4. Come underneath. Lift back up. Keep that right hand strong, clawing the floor, building strength in your wrist. Good, plank pose. Lower down. Squeeze the legs together. Take a nice, easy, soft cobra. And relax. We gotta do the other side. Lift yourself up. Plank pose. Remember, knee down if you like, or even forearm. Roll to the left side. Inhale, up. Right arm comes underneath. Reach it way under. Inhale, lift up. Come underneath. Reach it up. Come underneath. And reach it up. And underneath. Awesome. Downward dog. Stretch back. If you want child's pose, go for it. Otherwise, stay right here. Wag your hips side to side. Good. Shift forward to plank and lower down onto your belly. Good. Left arm's going to come out front. Right arm is going to reach around and grab the outside of your foot. Half bow. So turn your chest forward again. Kick into your hand and start to lift the leg up. So it might just come just a tiny bit off the floor. That's fine. It doesn't have to come way up. Keep working your chest forward. Inhale a breath and exhale. Let's do the other side. Right arm in front for balance. Left hand reaches back. Grab hold of the left foot. Kick into your left hand. Chest forward, shoulder forward. So we're keeping everything squared to the front. And soften. Good. Make a pillow with your arms. Turn your head. Let's take a quick belly shavasana. Let everything go right here. Let the floor support you just for a moment. All right, let's come back up. Take Sphinx pose. So you're going to take your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Lightly grab the floor, and I think of like dragging myself. Pull yourself through. Push your elbows down into the ground. Okay, so let's do a neck stretch here. It feels nice. So you can have your legs either up or extended out. But we really want to work on dropping our elbows and our forearms down into the ground. Tilt your head gently to the right side. Lift your chin to the left. Now, left hand, left forearm, left elbow, push down into the ground. And then come back in the center. That feels so good in my neck. Let's do the other side. Tilt your head over. You're going to lift your chin, because we tend to drop our chin when we stretch it. So lift your chin, like you're aiming your chin towards the corner of your room. Now push the right elbow, right hand, right forearm down into the ground. Really feel that extension when you do that. Tilt your head, feel the stretch. And then back into center. Drop your chin forward. And really stretch the crown of your head away from you. And leave your chin forward and rock your head side to side. Again, just working any tension in your neck. Giving you a little pause from the core, which we are going to come back to. Good. All right. Lift yourself back up. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. All right, we're going to stay on our forearms. So have a good foundation. Elbow under your shoulder. Turn your toes under. To modify this, leave your knees on the floor. If you want more work, knees off the floor. So we're going to really engage our belly, lift up, and take our plank. So what you don't want is your hips way in the air, and you don't want your back to sag. So you got to really engage, pull it up. Now, squeeze your butt really tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing, keep lifting your low belly. Hold on to it, breathe. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then everything softens to the ground. Untuck your toes. Just let your feet wag side to side. All right, a little bit different. Turn your toes under. Lift up just like you did a moment ago. Engage your belly. This time you're gonna just let your right hip kiss your mat. So kiss means just barely touch. Come back to center. Left hip barely kisses, touch, and up. So right hip, center, left hip, center, right hip, center, left hip, center, right hip, center. Hold on, you can do it. Center, right, left, right, left. One more, right, left. Woo, melt everything down. Did you feel that? I'll take your silences. Yes, we felt that. Take your hands along your rib cage. Come on back into your child's pose. Walk yourself back. Oh, it feels nice around your back. And then inhale, lift yourself up for a downward facing dog. And just notice how your downward dog feels a little bit different than when we first started our practice tonight. Where have you gained a little more space, more openness in your body? Good, walk your toes up by your hands. We're just going to play a little bit, again, core strength here. Hands on the ground. Spread your fingers wide. Claw the floor. Walking your feet as close as you can in. It may mean that you need to bend your knees. Do that if you need to. If you can keep your legs fairly straight, then keep them straight. Now, we're going to come up onto our toes. Watch, shoulders are going to come way forward. That's on purpose. Claw the floor. Pull your belly up. How high can you get your hips? Can you get on your tippy toes? Hold on to it. Breathe, breathe. Keep pulling your belly up. Breathe. If you feel like you're going to fall forward, you are in the right spot. If you do fall, tuck and roll. Do a little somersault out of it. But keep lifting up. Come on. How high can you get on your toes? Good. Roll your heels down. Soften everything. Bend your knees. Relax. Turn your palms up. Just lay on top of your legs. Now, if this feels great and you want to stay here, be my guest. Or if you want to try that one more time, spread your fingers wide. Claw your mat. Use your fingertips. Straighten your legs. Lift your tailbone up. Top of your head straighten down. So don't hold your head up and look at your mat. Just let your head hang. Good. Now roll up onto your toes. Really pull. Belly up. Belly up. Ribs in. Hold it right there. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Breathe. Breathe. Can you float one leg up? Well, maybe. Just play. You don't have to lift it all the way. Just where you can. Try the other side. Come on, just playing here. Lift one leg up. And release. Both heels up. One more lift up. And bend your knees. Come down into bija or seed pose. Bothers your knees to come this far down? Please don't. Stay up a little higher like we just did a moment ago. Or super small. Round yourself in. If you can get your heels on the floor, do so. I just can't, so can't show it to you, but working on it. And take your time. Lift up one last downward facing dog. Check my time. 40, okay. Last downward dog. Stretch it back. Deep breath. All right, let's do a little different hip stretch tonight. You're going to bend your knees, come down onto the ground. I'm going to turn sideways. You might want to turn sideways on your mat just so you have some padding underneath your knees. So we're going to take the toes together and your knees out wide. Take your knees as wide as you can get. All right. Good. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands forward. Now, move your feet out so that your ankles are in alignment with your knees. Okay? Now, we want to work the stretch. So we're going to take our hips back towards our heels. So reaching back, you'll feel it. The minute you start to bring your hips back, it's like, oh yeah, I feel it here. Just breathe. If you can go lower, feel free to drop down onto your forearms. Maybe you can ease your knees a little wider. Work your hips back. Now engage your belly, lift it up, pull your ribs together in front. Can you push your forearms into the floor and work your hips back just maybe a 1/4 of an inch back more? Maybe you can drop your ribs down onto the ground. Maybe you can open your knees a little wider. Now, if you get here and you're like, I don't feel anything, usually that means you've come forward in the pose. So you gotta back your hips up until you feel it. So this is essentially like you're doing wide leg splits here. That's what we're working on, big groin stretch. Find your widest point and then pull ribs up, pull belly in, breathe. I like to call this pose smashed frog, dead frog in the road. So visualize, if you were frog legs and you're trying to get everything down onto the ground. Not so good for the frog, but good image. Another breath here. Let's release into your hips. Good. There's no real graceful way to come out of here. So any way you can. I take my hands back by my ribs. Just do a push-up. Walk your legs in. Oh, yeah. Come over and have a seat. Give them a little shake out. Let's twist. All right, so we're going to bend the right knee. Put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Take your right hand around behind your back. Lift your left arm up and pull your ribs way back. Even arch your back behind you. Now turn towards your right leg. If you can, hook the arm to the outside. If that's too much, wrap your arm around. Either one is a good one. If you're using the back of the arm, you can actually kind of push against it, turn back and look over your right shoulder. And then releasing out of your pose, switch to your other side. So we're going to take the left foot up, both hips on the ground, left hand around behind your back. Right arm up, around your back behind you. Pull your ribs back. We do that to create space so you can really get a snug twist. So you come around too much, you're going to hug here. If you can bring your arm to the outside of the knee, do so. Sit tall. What I mean by that is you want the top of your head directly over your tailbone, and then twist. And then unwinding yourself, come all the way down onto your back. Good, so taking your knees on top, you're gonna bring your arms over your head. And I just interlace my fingers, palms together so you won't use your hands. Good, lift your feet up towards the ceiling. You can keep your knees soft here, a little bit of a bend. Just do a couple of reverse crunches, again, to get right into that core. So you're gonna lift your hips up and back down. It's not a very big movement, and try not to swing your legs. But think of like stomping your feet up on the ceiling. Good. Now can you stay up? Hold your feet up. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. Let's try it again. Lift it up and hold. Stay up and hold, 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 and release. One more. Stay up and hold, 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 and down. Good. Leave your feet up. Let them go soft. Bring your hands down along your hips. And just take a few point and flex. A few circles. And around the other way. Good. Hug your right knee in. Let your left leg drop slowly towards the ground. If you want more core work, you're going to hover that leg. If you want less core work, you're going to drop the leg to the floor. And then hugging your right knee into the outside of your rib cage and then hugging it snugly into your body. And if you want to give a squeeze, you can lift your head, pull everything in. And soften back down to the ground. And then lift both feet up to the ceiling again. A few circles in your ankles. And then start to hug your left knee in, letting your right leg drop down either all the way to the floor or hovering a few inches. Hug your left knee in, reach out through your right heel. And then if you want to squeeze in, curl your nose up towards your knee, squeeze everything in. And then both feet back up to the ceiling. Bend your knees. Reach up, grab the outside little toe side of your feet, and you're going to pull your feet straight down to your belly. Now notice your tailbone starts to rock up. So I want you to drop it down towards the floor. Let go of your feet, lift your feet up to the ceiling, and then turn your toes away from each other, so ballerina style here. And then let your toes go out, let your feet drop. And the minute you start to feel it in your knees, you're going to soften your knees slightly. Reach your toes, like you could touch your toes on either side to the floor. I'm sure some of you can do that. And you can use your hands on the inside of your thighs or your calves, just not your knees. And just a little bit of slight gravity help here, just gently pulling down and get a little more stretch. If you want one last bit of core, interlace your fingers, take your palms away, lift your chest, shoulders off the floor, hold it right there. And shoulders roll back down. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs. You're going to lift your legs up to the ceiling. Now, hands relax. Let your feet relax, but just leave them up in the air. Find that place where you feel like your heels are right over your hips. Your legs feel pretty centered there. There's a kind of a magic spot where, I don't know, I find when I move around or I get to that place where it almost feels like you're so aligned that your legs are weightless. So we're looking for that place. Close your eyes. Just enjoy for a moment. And then bend one knee, taking your foot to the floor. Bend the other knee, taking the foot to the floor. Extend your legs out, and then bring your hands onto your belly. Close your eyes, and come into your final pose, your Shavasana. So let's come back to how we started our practice tonight, breathing into our belly. So breathe in. Fill the palms of your hands with your breath. as you're breathing, imagine that you're drawing in breath right into the center of your belly. Visualize this breath as a beautiful, bright color yellow. So see yellow in the middle of your belly, like the sun right in the center of your belly. And let that yellow light grow and expand. And feel that light expand into your upper body, into your lower body, down your legs, down your arms, until eventually you feel as if your whole body is just bathed in a bright, brilliant color, yellow. Yellow fills your whole body. Your solar plex chakra, your Manipura chakra, the third chakra. It is the energy center responsible for your personal power, for your self-esteem, for your confidence. So feel that power grow. A ball of yellow light glowing in your abdomen. Allow yourself just to feel this place of energy, this place of confidence from within. And with that, perhaps focus on a decision that you've been wanting to make, or an action, just something that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off. And find the confidence, the willpower to do that. Imagine the positive result that will come from doing that action. And then just bring your awareness back into this moment, breathing into your belly. So of course you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as your Shavasana is calling you to do so tonight. But I will close out our practice and hopefully see you again next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays here online. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all know peace. May our words, thoughts, and actions contribute to that peace in some way. May we find the courage to make a difference. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Much gratitude for joining me here. I hope to see you again next time. Have a great weekend. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.